All right, welcome to the first episode of Delco Jams podcast. Today I am joined with Mandie, Griff over there, set the whole thing up for the podcast, and my good friend Jack Ashfield. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, Rob.
For sure.
No problem. I'm glad it's finally starting to get this together. So, Jack, Blood Machine, what is it? Tell me about it.
Blood Machine is a half-classified personal project I've got going on. Essentially, I was kicked out of a group, and I basically have a finished album on a flash drive, but with band politics and who owns what, that album is never going to come out. So I started a project that is 100% owned by me because I want something that nobody can rip away from me at any point. I'm in a bunch of other projects too, but Blood Machine is something that nobody will ever rip away from me. And essentially what it is it's a new artist name combining the likes of my influences from Royal Blood and Rage Against the Machine.
Nice. They're two of my favorites, actually. I love Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, it's a really groovy and fun, heavy album. And a big thing is in bands before this, I never really saw myself as a front man. I don't think I have a voice to front a band. But through a bunch of song experiments, I found out that I could scream in the note F, which works well in the A sharp range. But without getting too technical, what that means is if you tune your guitar stupid low to G standard, my scream can actually front a sound, allowing me to be a one-man band that is actually fronted well.
Nice, dude. I can hit a low F too.
Yeah?
So stupid.
Far.
Fun.
No, nice. What was their previous band, if you don't mind saying?
Sure. So I was part of a band I formed in my later college years with some people called Sunvile. It was a very awesome band. I think one of my most successful projects to date. We did original rock music, and we played around the Philadelphia area in venues like Century and Sweeney's, and we even got out to a festival. Where was
Flip side function.
Yeah, where was that?
It's up in the mountains. It's mountain-ish area. I don't know. It's up in northern PA.
Yeah.
East Bumblefuck.
We're fake fans, clearly.
Yeah.
You know.
Was it like Scranton Mountain?
No, it was like 40. It was like 50, 60 minutes away. I wish I knew. It was
Whatever it was. It was a really cool.
It was a
really,
mountain.
Yeah, it was an outdoor farmland little festival with a little stage and a good sound system, and there was a potato fry vendor there, and Rob got really crazy fries. It was like one continuous potato that was fried. But anyway, Sunvile wrote a lot of really cool original music adjacent to Better Than Ezra. We even had influences like The Cure, but it kind of
Nice.
It
love The Cure too. Another one of my favorites.
yeah, it wrote along the line of grunge and 90s, but definitely was fronted by a front man, and that taught me that I only ever want to write music or be part of music that can be fronted. So if we were to write a riff heavier than our front man could sell, I say we just scrap the riff, because you need to be able to sell the sound you're working on. So over time, we actually came through with about 12 songs, and we were producing the album for it. It was going really well.
Until it didn't.
Oh, yeah. But so many lessons learned, and really great guys regardless. I actually started to become a producer because of what I learned in Sunvile further, because I think we worked with a studio that was charging us a lot of money, but we learned lessons being artists ourselves too. Like we would go into the studio with like not every single drum fill written or not every solo completely written, and that would cost us hundreds of dollars if we didn't even have the thing written already. Like you'd go in and you need to write it there. You're paying hundreds of dollars for work you could have did at home. So yeah.
Being unprepared and going to the studio sounds like a little relevant to earlier, you know.
Well, listen, I haven't been to school in 3 years, so I still need to refamiliarize myself with the program. But
Nice AFI shirt, by the way.
You mean AFI? It's a good band. Good band.
Love that band.
So, what are, I guess, any future projects besides Blood Machine? I mean, I guess you're learning from the past. You don't want to have any mistakes like that. I'm trying to word my sentence here. I'm doing a bad job with this, but
No, I think I understand. I think what I ultimately am getting at with these learning lessons things is that every project you can take something from it, even if the project fails. But I think any project you can walk away with something from is a successful project regardless. Definitely studio preparation. I learned to obviously produce because I wanted to ensure the quality of our production had care in it. MIDIing out your albums beforehand is really helpful, because you could play to a metronome in a studio and you have to memorize every hit, every change, every tempo change, every beat change. You have to program your metronome, or again, program your stuff beforehand. Like, really have intent going into projects. But
So what you're saying is care.
yeah, intent and care. Like, the thing is, you could record a jam band and you could record their demo, you could plug them all through a mixing board, but ultimately, if the drummer speeds up or slows down, then your final mix, your demo, is not completely locked in on BPM. It's going to capture every mistake and every bit of variance. But that's not good or bad all the time. It's just intent and care, like you're saying.
You worried about things like AI or anything like that stealing your work?
AI is theft, right? But the thing is, it's a weird line with art, because Blood Machine, all my riffs, I basically find the riffs I love the most of bands I really like, and I say, how could I make this better? So music's, as in all art, you look at what's come before you and try to make it better. But AI, I don't know, it kind of takes the effort of the replication out of it. So I'm not personally worried, because I find inspiration everywhere. But I don't know, art is fun to make. I think AI kind of takes away from it.
Yeah, you're not wrong about
Yeah, fuck AI. For real.
Stupid.
Yeah. Nice. But yeah, you mentioned The Cure, Rage, and like grunge in general. Any other like musical influences?
Well, I do study music, and I have I'm going to get to this question. You're going to hear the roundabout answer.
Okay. Yeah.
So I study music in a way that I look for groups that have achieved excellence. They have achieved an excellent song. And when they do that, I say, I want to find out if they know how they made something excellent, or if they got really lucky. So what I do is I'll listen to their whole discography, and I'll create a playlist, what I called a BDA, a band defining album. And from their discography, I place their 12 best songs in set list order with their best song last. So some of the artists that I've made these discography BDAs for, Limp Bizkit, Mother, A Tribe Called Quest,
Nice.
Baby Metal.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Rob actually saw Baby Metal. Yeah, I took him to it. And my wife's one of my wife's favorites, Mother actually. So yeah, nice.
Yeah, I just did the Mother one, and I was just gonna say AFI to get back on AFI. I have studied AFI in depth.
Hell yeah.
Something cool about it though is that some of these artists are pretty much still alive and kicking. So when they release new music, if their new music is better than the stuff I put on the BDA, I go and update the BDA. I have to put the best they've ever done.
Has there been a band recently you've had to do that?
Origami Angel put out a new record, and their song Fruit Wine definitely knocked out another song on the BDA I made. But yeah, it's super cool to follow. Now, often new stuff is not better than old stuff, but I love when new stuff like takes the throne.
You ever been disappointed with the new stuff bands have released?
Oh my god, all the time.
Yeah, I would say always. Yeah.
I was following the band Wargasm, Wargasm, and they put out a song called Spit that like was 9 Inch Nails adjacent and revolutionary, I think, in its songwriting. And I'm like, this is probably one of the most creative things I've ever heard. It's hard, it's awesome. So I followed them song by song to the album, and then the album dropped. And I was kind of, man, it didn't capture that same philosophy of creation. So I was a bit let down.
It's a shame when you think about having to stay within your like how your sound and then making a new album. Like, hey guys, we're doing an album, but it's like can't make it sound like this previous one. It has to be something new and cool. I guess it can't be.
Well, Blood Machine definitely teaches me something about that. I refuse to use the same riff twice. I refuse to use the same drum beat. I doubt if I continue Blood Machine as a project after this first album, which is going to be called Enough.
Nice. You got a name for it.
I do. It's going to be called Enough. It's about a lot of greed and stuff and current climates. But I doubt I'll ever be able to write more songs in the same exact vein as this Blood Machine record, because you just really explore the philosophies and ideas. Yeah, you have to evolve a little bit, but you don't have to like completely depart. You look at a band like Paramore, they went from emo to disco rock, and people didn't get it at first, but it turned out to be really successful. But you have the core fan base who's like, that's not Paramore. It actually is. They reinvented themselves. They broadened their horizons.
Any song specifically you'd say where they're doing disco rock? I was
Hard Times.
I was thinking.
Speaking of which, David Byrne from Talking Heads does a great cover of that song.
Does he?
Oh yeah, so good.
Did they release it recently?
It was a record store release a couple years ago, and I didn't get it, and I was so sad. And now people are selling it for like $100 on eBay, of course.
Not that much. Compared to what it could be.
Yeah.
Bird's a great artist. Shout out Talking Heads, great band.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Didn't Haley go and cover a Talking Heads song or two? after
Yeah,
that?
she did. Burning Down the House.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yeah. So good.
Talk a little closer to your mic when you talk, because you sound a little echoey.
All right.
So stupid. When you come out with Blood Machine, when you finally, is this good enough for you now? But when you release Blood Machine, do you have any are you gonna promote it social media wise? Are you gonna actually
Yeah, so I've actually got a plan with Blood Machine. I do want to eventually play it live. Of course, I'm going to literally just be hiring musicians to fill the stage with, because I'm not giving up any equity in this thing. But I do plan to make social media and make it centered around social justice. The entire album is me screaming about social injustice, but I want every pretty much most of the dollars, if not all of them, to go toward most of the merch money dollars to go toward charities that the album speaks about, such as violence, abuse, and healthcare, shortcomings and whatnot. I'd like to make this like angry, violent stage show actually promote to the solution of the problems rather than just screaming about the problems. I'd like to forward the things I want to put my money where my mouth is in terms of these social issues.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about how you were concerned about how like your word, I guess what you're saying, you don't want people to take it like a threat type deal, or the lyrics are too.
Yeah, I read up on free speech statutes and laws, and I read a dissertation, 75 pages. I didn't think I would read it all, but it was just very intriguing.
Did you learn anything interesting in that?
Absolutely, yeah. So with lyrical content and free speech, there's a fine line. You can't make specific threats to people, but you can generally speak out about injustice in the form of music and lyrics. There was a bunch of lawsuits. Someone filed one against Ozzy Osbourne, who had like a suicidal ideation song, and then some kid killed himself, and the parents said, it's because of Ozzy Osbourne. We should get millions of dollars from Ozzy because our kid committed suicide. And Ozzy's like, I didn't tell your kid to do that. So essentially
He said, what?
the limitation was fine
Sharon.
there. But it gets really bad where you start making specific threats to specific people. There was a rap song that targeted two local officers by name and knew when they got off their shift, and the line was like, when you get off at 3 p.m. I'm going to stab you in your sleep at your house. And they were the only ones in that dissertation that actually faced jail time. So
I guess because they specified. I mean,
yeah, it was a direct threat.
If you make an album and just say, hey, nothing here, if anything, can you put a disclaimer? It's all coincidental. In that case, it's coincidence. It's related to that.
You can only ride that coincidence line so far. And this violence thing with free speech is riding the same line as explicit content. And nobody has gone to jail for saying any explicit lyrics in terms of sexually charged things. There was once, I think it was in Chicago or Boston or some city, where the city official wanted a rated M for mature disclaimer on ticket sales for explicit content, but they realized that they only did that for the Beastie Boys because some official just didn't like that the Beastie Boys were being expletive, so they struck down that law. But yeah, you can say this stuff, and again, it is angry, it's violently charged, but I'm not inciting violence and anything. I just want to speak out about injustice, and maybe show people that by me yelling about these things, that there are other people that really care about justice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of Rage Against the Machine, like you mentioned earlier. So yeah, definitely see the influence there.
Absolutely.
I could quote Rage Against the Machine here. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
Motherfucker.
So Manny, how you been?
Cool.
Holy shit. Yeah, I've been trying to find recently, looking at the new shows that are coming up. Not to derail you here or anything like that.
No, we're good.
But got some shows coming up.
Oh wait. What I was gonna ask him actually if he had if Blood Machine was on socials or anything that you want to plug. Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay.
Just keep an eye out.
All right. Yeah, for sure.
The studio he's working
Well,
with is very hush right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when they do exist, we'll definitely throw them out there for sure.
Thank you.
Oh,
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Just recently upcoming shows. I think we'll get this audio out today, I would assume, right? You just sent it right to me. We just put it on over. I'm not sure how long it'll take between.
I mean, we can get the audio whenever. It just depends on how much you want to edit it before you put it out there, and but
just raw dog it, put it right out as is.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see. Got some shows coming up this upcoming month here. Just want to throw out there. We have Harkin at the Block this Saturday, the 8th, at Harrah's Casino. They're reopening the block. It's supposed to be this huge event they have going on. Come check it out. Hopefully the weather permitting, it's not going to be too bad. We also have Tommy Boy, Jack's cover band that he's in. He's playing at Secrets.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say the movie or the band.
The band.
Okay.
The band. It's spelled TOMMIBOI, and they're playing at the venue called Secrets out in Delaware. It's a bit of a drive, but definitely worth checking.
Pretty
out.
big deal.
Yeah,
it's like Disneyland for venues, you know.
Nice. I'm excited. I'm not thrilled the fact you can't wear sunglasses in there, but you take what you can get. It's fine. Dude, who cares about the sunglasses? With Lady White Rats playing at the Nail on the 16th with, I believe, Stillcraft. I think that's the date they're playing that.
That's been moved a few times, yeah?
Yeah, but I think they're definitely doing it on the 16th. I'm pretty certain. They've been sharing things about that. I hope this damn weather doesn't fucking stop that from happening.
I mean, yeah, it's been a big hoopla about nothing so far. Yeah, it's been like a little bit of ice, so I think it'll be good.
If you say hoopla again, I'm going to throw a brick at you.
Hoopla.
And then we have the Key Concert Series at The Fugue. It's F-U-G-E, and that's going to be out in Warminster on the 22nd. Huge show. We got the Yo show coming up. Jeff, if you're listening, shout out, buddy. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to go just check that out. Griff.
What's up?
Any new music you've been listening to lately?
Trying to think. I mean, I won tickets on the radio to see Dream Theater tonight. So I've been kind of listening to them. Nothing specific. I mean, Pearl Jam had a new record. That was like a while ago now, but I've been, listening to that.
Is Pearl Jam kept up relevant these past few years? Do you think their music is still good with their new record?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like any new band or not new, any new album, there's gonna be songs you don't like, but I mean, for the most part, yeah. I mean, every record definitely has a song or two that I jam to for sure.
Shout out Pearl Jam and Dream Theater.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Eddie Vedder, if you're listening, come. Well, I was gonna say come play my wedding, but I'm already married, so come play when I renew my vows. So.
Oh man, about any shows coming up for you lately? Things you're gonna see? Any bands you're gonna
I
see?
have one ticket for a band I'm very excited to see. The band is Throne, Thrown, spelling bee. Throne.
You're gonna spell it Therwn. I don't know.
Nah, but Throne, I think is inventing ways to bring groove back to metal. I have theories about modern metal and the directions it's taking. I think it definitely has gotten heavier since Rage Against the Machine in terms of like tonality. Throne is that heavier thing. They're reintroducing the groove. Again, my perspective is I think metal as a genre though has kind of lost its weight lyrically.
What do you mean, like
just message? Like Rage really spoke out about real things, real issues, real injustice, and then metal kind of took a left turn. I love the way modern metal sounds, but if you're singing about like blood and spooky skeletons and like whatever, it's like okay, cool, but I don't know. Are you really saying anything with current weight? I don't know. I just feel I'm a young guy in his 20s.
Their message isn't strong. It's just kind of like
yeah. Of course, they're singing about real pain and stuff, and that's cool. But that's where. I am to correct it, but Throne musically is probably one of the grooviest, insane metal groups currently.
Any recommendations on song-wise for them?
Man,
yeah.
They have an album called Excessive Guilt. It's a pretty great album, but I think Gray Out by Throne and Guilt by Throne are modern things that you should not be missing.
Hell yeah! How about you, Griff?
Sorry, I was looking some stuff up. What was the question again? About
any new recent artists you come across?
Oh yes, yeah. So there is this. It's like an all-female Japanese punk band called Otoboke Beaver. I've been like super obsessed with them. I'm actually going to Japan in April for a couple weeks, and I'm dying to see a show of them. I really hope they're going to be playing while I'm there. If they do, I will definitely try to get some footage of it, and we can definitely upload it. But yes, Otoboke Beaver. It's Otoboke, and then Beaver, like the animal.
Do you think they're going to have English subtitles below the stage?
I do not believe so, no.
It's Japanese punk. You don't even need to know the words.
Yeah, it's literally just four Japanese females screaming, and it's the fucking greatest shit you'll ever listen to in your life. What are they saying? I have no idea. But yeah,
makes
it's
you
great.
feel things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was going to say something else about them, but I don't remember what. Oh yeah, their name. Yeah, it comes from a. It was a name of like a love hotel in Japan, which is, if you're not in the familiar, it's a place where you can run out for an hour or two to have sexual things. So yeah.
Musically sexual?
No.
Oh.
I mean, if you pay the money for the hotel room, you can do whatever you want with it. If you want to play a quick show in it, I'm sure they'll let you. But
playing it at a what is it? One of those places. Just be like, at a brothel. Be like, listen, like, at a brothel, just be like, yeah, could you guys just like sit there and like watch my band play real quick? It will really do it for me. Just playing, you're like, oh fuck.
What's his face?
So anyway, this is Blood Machine.
I have got to finish Blood Machine.
Yeah, you should play with Blood Machine with Otoboke Beaver. That'd be great.
Yeah, you should just play it in general. It'd be great. I'm excited to see. I mean, you're almost done the album. I'm excited.
Yeah, my hard limit is the same way I make BDAs. I think musically an album should be packaged around 45 minutes to an hour, so I limit myself at 12 songs. I have an intro, and I'm working on my 11th song right now. So yeah, I'm super excited to finally... And the whole album is in MIDI form right now. So when I hit song 12, I'll actually lay down the guitar and bass and vocals and pretty much, ship it.
Nice. So what you're saying, there's no chance of like a future Blood Machine rock opera?
Oh my god. Speaking of rock opera, I did a BDA for Smashing Pumpkins to figure out if they did anything worthwhile after the 90s. They have a 3-act rock opera album called Atum, Atum. One of their songs on there, out of the 36, I like.
What's the song?
Spellbinding. It actually made it on my BDA. So that tells you, like, I really am listening to everything these bands do to find out where their greatness is.
I was gonna say the answer was no to the Smashing Pumpkins because dude,
Atum, Spellbinding's a good one, but
I'll have to give that one a shot. Yeah.
You could also on Spotify, if you type in capital letters BDA space hyphen. You'll find pretty much all of my BDA playlists. They're publicly available. And my Spotify name is Audio Jack.
Gotcha.
Audio_Jack?
Just Audio space Jack. And you can find all the BDAs I've made. And I encourage, get this, I encourage people to make their own because I'm not going to be a fan of every group on this earth. So if you're a fan of a group I would never listen to and you say, okay, but hear them out, make me a BDA. Tell me like what songs I should be listening to by them to see if I like them or not. Because on the ride here, my buddy Jared Brown, who fronts a country band called Country Mile, he sent me a BDA for this band called Stick Figure, and they're a great reggae band. And why do I know they're great? Because he sent me a BDA, and I'm only hearing the best of the best. So I think Stick Figure is an insanely great reggae band. So, yeah, make your own. 12-song limit, listen to everything, and order it like a set, and their best songs last.
So if I send you a 12-song BDA of any band, you're like, all right, I'll listen to this.
Yeah, I will, because that tells me you're not just sending me a Spotify's greatest hits or whatever, because it's different. It's not just the songs that made the record label the most money, it's how well the song is written, how well is it received. There's a lot of stuff that I consider in my criteria for what makes a song great, but I want to hear what other people think is great music. What
specifically? I'm just curious. What makes a song great to you? Because I know you've been doing music long enough where you clearly have an idea of what you're doing. You've helped produce bands, things like that. Well, in the process of helping produce some bands, but what makes a song great to you?
To me, you definitely have to understand rhythm. I started writing music just on a guitar, and I kind of filled in the bass and drums after as an afterthought. But your song absolutely 100% needs a rhythm section. You need to understand how it's going to move. That's not to say it needs to be fun or groovy the whole time, but it has to move and be cohesive with rhythm and movement. And it has to have a bold idea, and you need to support that idea and expand upon it. So a bold idea could be a phrase, a chorus, a riff, and expand upon it means your verses have to be interesting and engaging, and your bridge has to be engaging if you have it. And it all has to move and be cohesive together. It has to explore itself and be a fully realized idea.
Nice. Sorry, I thought you were going over a little more. Yeah, I mean, that's beautifully said. I know recently we were talking about another group of friends of ours, Return to Crab, in the process of getting an album for them, which if you guys are listening, what's up? Their music, I mean, how you would describe their whole album when you were talking about that, you paint it as a picture. It's like, it's really beautiful how you care enough about music where it's like you're really going to give them a whole picture. They might not be things that like you might not be thinking of. It's like, hey guys, I've seen it at this level of like, I don't know. I'm trying to finish my thought.
I'll recite it. So Rob and I were having this conversation. We were deciding about the song order for Return to Crab's album. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'll just give the overviews. But they don't have a current album order. And I got talking about Rob. I think in modern day, there's very few albums written nowadays. I think bands and labels just write songs and then package it up with a few other songs and call it an album. But an album to me is a cohesive work that is intended to be listened to beginning to end. And for Return to Crab, they've got a few messages about being human, but also connecting with your animalistic side and realizing that no matter how domesticated we are, we still are animals at the end of the day. So I construed what I thought would be the best order for a song order for their album to convey not only a fun and engaging vibe throughout, but also keep it diverse and also have a full circle ending. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into playlist making and album making and just the thought behind it all.
Yeah, you really care about a lot of the music you listen to, dude. It's actually it's beautiful. I don't see many people who are like who describe music at the level you can be like, oh, this is great.
Well, Rob also gets annoyed at me because I hate so much music because I have more hatred for music with potential than I have for bad music. Yeah. I think bad music's always going to exist.
Jack Ashfield, he's actually a bastard. I forgot to.
Yeah. I'm a
what are some examples of music that you hate? If you feel like ruffling from some feathers.
Ruffle the feathers.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know about hate because people it has its audience.
Dislike. Yeah, hate's a very strong word.
I don't know. Let me describe the point before I get into what I hate. So, and I won't name names. I'm just going to say there are certain bands you'll see that are so technically masterful at what they do, and their song structure and their sound is full and whatever, but it's when you look at the crowds and you're at their live shows, they're clearly not, caring about the crowd. They're not caring about the audience. They're just having fun on stage. And sometimes when they lose the crowd and you're like, but you just had the crowd this for an hour. Why would you change? Why would you pivot away from them? Why would you stop caring? There are certain bands that make choices that say they have all the tools they need to be completely successful, and they pivot away and they don't understand why they stop being successful. If you squander potential in your group, that annoys me more than just having no potential at all.
When you say pivot away, give me an example. They're moving the crowd and there's a change up or something, and it kind of just
Sure, it's not. I don't hate change ups in music. I just hate. There are certain choices rhythmically that are anti-movement, and yes, it's cool. But if you decide that your main groove of this riff is going to be anti-movement for the sole reason of it just being interesting and disengaging, I don't know. I don't know. It's an artistic choice, and my purpose in my young 20s, while I can move and jump around, is to make sure that the crowds I eventually play to are always having a good time, and I consider not only my music writing, but the crowd's enjoyment of it.
Do you think when you get older, you'll be like, I just want music I can play? You sit down and listen to this.
Yeah, I had a conversation with the vocalist of Sunvile when we were deciding what songs to write for the band for the first album, and he was like, I want to slow it down and maybe have a few acoustic tracks. And I told him, man, listen, we're young now. We can jump around. We could throw a party right now. In 5-10 years, we may never want to do that again.
Yeah.
You have its shelf life as a young rock musician or a metal musician. You have a shelf life, and you're eventually just going to start standing still and sitting down. So.
No, it's fair.
So unless you're Eddie Vedder, that guy fucking still brings it all day, every day.
Look at Fish. I mean, in the early '90s, how fast and how hard they played. Then they got older. It's like, well, we can't play that hard anymore. It's a shame, but
I mean, fucking Mick Jagger's still doing it somehow. I mean, I've never seen him live. But
from what I hear, he works out every morning.
Probably.
The man stays swole.
Yeah.
I'll answer your question now about music I dislike a little bit.
Cool. Yeah.
I love Sleeping with Sirens and what they were able to achieve with the philosophies of if you can't hang, and I feel like they have another one I really enjoy. But some of their mixing, I have a very neutral mix in my car, the way I adjust bass to make sure it's present and the mids and highs are not too rough on the ears. But some of their mixing, man, it's so anti-pleasant, and it's not intentional. I feel like they want a clearer mix, but they just weren't able to achieve it in some of their earlier records. So I mean, if it's anti-listener, it's cruel because I love what they're doing musically. It's not digestible. So that's an example of production-based dislike. But of course, there's composition-based dislike in other groups.
When you say anti-listener, is that just how they have it mixed when they're in the car, I guess?
No, mixed in general. If no amount of remixing it in a car or at a board will allow it to be digestible in the way that it should. Some highs on cymbals are way too high, and it's painful to listen to. There's a Sublime song that I realized has a high-pitched frequency that made me not able to listen to the song anymore.
What's the song?
It's probably What I Got.
That's funny. What I Got and Santeria.
What's the one where it's like, I can play the guitar like a motherfucking right?
That's what I got.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, and then it
Yeah.
plays like the weakest solo ever.
No,
Yeah.
it's not a weak solo. That's an internet meme.
I know it is, but
It's a great solo.
I mean, they got that whole album slaps. Just those two songs specifically. Just everything else, every other song on those albums are great. I just like those two songs. They make me me. I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. What were you saying?
Just about dislikes composition.
Yeah.
But a lot of stuff is good. I've got a few other projects I can fill the space with. I'm very engaged right now. I've lost most of my other hobbies due to music. I don't know when this happened, but probably like...
What other hobbies did you have?
I used to play games. I used to go out to see movies.
Play
I used to
games.
bike. Oh man, the music swallowed me.
Now you're just sitting at home with your meta head, your first person.
No,
thing.
not even that.
I
I
use-
have VR. I think it's awesome. I bought it to stay active and fit during the cold winter, but I just kept doing more.
you used
music.
to cure diseases. And
Yeah, man. I was right there on cancer. I almost had
Oh.
it, and then the universe was like, Jack, produce.
Finish Blood
Yeah,
Machine.
finish Blood Machine. I'm also part of. I think I'm wearing the hat right now. I'm part of an original project called Still Sway. That's another band I'll be fronting. That one I don't own 100% of, so writing's a bit easier. It's not all on me. We have a guitarist. I'm going to be fronting it, and we have a bassist as well currently, and that's going really well because the guitarist I work with is also a producer himself. So we've got like 10 or something songs.
That's Seth.
Yeah, Seth.
Shout out to Seth.
Shout out Seth. Seth and Carl. We get together on Mondays and we make some pretty awesome stuff. And that's cool because with Blood Machine, I have the music I love and I steal from. I'm like, I think I can make this riff in a different context. With them, they listen to stuff I'd never listened to and they bring their influence. It's a beautiful thing to be in a collaborative band that, meshes all their influences together. It makes some really cool stuff. Again, I just have that insecure... I don't want to lose something again because I have the Sunbow album on a flash drive on my desk and it's never going to see the light of day. So
Just looks at you and says,
yeah, sorry, it's whatever. But Still Sway's cool. I'm the bassist for Tommy Boy. I could talk about a doohickey setup I've got there, but
yeah, do it. I swear all about you. You're one of the you're the guest today, my guy.
sure, yeah, we've got plenty of time, I think. Yeah, all right, cool. So I ordered a piece of metal from the United Kingdom, and you cannot get it anywhere else in the world.
Like, do you mean like actual metal or like metal music?
It's an electronic device. It's a guitar pickup.
Okay.
Shout out to the company Submarine Pickups because I had my doubts, but this thing actually works. What you do is you slot it under the strings of your guitar, and it only hears the bottom first or second string or both. But I have it hearing the bottom first one. And what you could do is that since you have your regular guitar sending out a signal and you have this thing sending out its signal, if you get a setup, made just right and you strum the guitar, you can hear a bass note and a guitar note. So essentially, Tommy Boy may or may not be pivoting to a 4-piece setup as opposed to a 5-piece. We're losing a guitarist. What I plan to do is I plan to play my Submarine pickup guitar so that the audience can hear a rhythm guitar and a bass signal from just me strumming one guitar, which is insane.
It actually is pretty cool. I've seen that thing in use myself. It's pretty sweet. If I could just say brilliant, it is great.
Yeah, quite cool. But Tommy Boy's a great time. It also helps me pay for the music hobby a little bit. I mean, I am producing people. I'm producing Return to Crab, and I'm making some dance mixes for... I have a friend who works with a dance school, and they want... a mix for their dance routine. So recently I made a Taylor Swift mix. I made a Money themed mix with a few hip hop songs for these young dancers. But I think that's a really cool thing I also do in my studio. Daruma Studios, by the way.
Yeah, hell yeah. DARUMA Studios.
Yeah, named after the doll.
Do they ask for anything specific with these mixes? Like, okay, like we want you to do a mix for us, but we want to have like X, Y, and Z with this. With these mixes to feel things.
The dancers don't always have the most specific notes. They just have they have the idea of like where they want the songs to cut and into the next song. But to make them transition smoothly, I apply some like industry knowledge. I'll fade them in together. I'll adjust tempos. For the Taylor Swift mix, she wanted, oh man, it's a love story, baby, just say yes. She wanted the song to end on that, but it was at an inconvenient time, so I blended like an 808 sub drop. I don't know, to make it, not just cut audio and be nothing. I wanted it to fade out a little bit where it couldn't. So yeah, apply some industry knowledge and make these mixes for the dancers.
That's great. I didn't know you were actually doing that. The mix. That's awesome.
Yeah, I got the studio. I have the knowledge. Might as well.
Yeah, I mean, hell, you just got to start getting your name out there a little more once you have finished products.
Yeah. The whole point, I'm doing Return to Crab more or less pretty much for free, their album, because I want a portfolio for Daruma Studios so that I'm not just some guy with a room in his apartment. So people are like, oh, he's just a hobbyist. I'd rather have a portfolio before I make it social and make it its own little business. But yeah, a lot of cool studio work. So we talked about Tommy Boy. We talked about Daruma, Still Sway, Blood Machine. I feel like I'm part of one more. Oh yeah, Breaking Falls. I'm the bassist for a returning metal band called Breaking Falls. They've been working on an album for a year, and I'm helping them finish it up. And we get together on Wednesdays. And that one's very heavy. I would think ADTR mixed with La Dispute. I love A Day to Remember, and the vocal styling is adjacent to that if you merge it with La Dispute a little bit.
Nice. I was about to say shout out Law Dispute. Great band too.
Never actually heard of them. They've been around for a while.
I don't know actually. You'd probably know better.
I really don't because
Yeah.
I love ADTR, and that's why I signed on to be with the band. So they're bringing on this other element. It's just like bringing influences together. But that album's pretty much written, I'd say. I think we're just producing. It's just me being annoying, but I hate Pro Tools. We work in Pro Tools there, and I feel like the album would have been done like months ago if we worked in Logic. But
why specific? I guess why that specific hate towards that program?
I mean, I'm just biased, but from what I've seen in terms of other programs, Logic is very intuitive. Like you hit record on a track, that track's recording. I feel like with any other program, they've got little roadblocks. And for me, when you're creating, you need no roadblocks to creation. That's the same reason I used to have my guitars in cases in closets so that you'd have to take them out of the case and then plug them into play. But now I have a 5-unit guitar rack so that anytime I want to create, I grab a guitar off a rack and I plug it in and I play. And that's really important for any artists who are creating anything. If you're a videographer, keep your phone or whatever video equipment easily accessible. If you want to like record any podcast, have the voice memo app ready, or you have an idea for what you want to talk about. Just you need art in your tools accessible immediately.
I actually just like to keep my phone in a case in my closet.
Yeah. Same thing with working out. I found I leave my dumbbells out, and it makes it much easier.
That is funny to think about. You'd be like, oh, I just got to work out right now.
Yeah.
No, it is true because I'm very like out of sight, out of mind type person.
Exactly,
So if you see it there, you're like, oh shit, I got to work out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess I could see why people leave that stuff out. Me personally, I'm just like...
Yeah, because if it's stashed in your closet, you're never going to go in your closet to get your workout equipment out, but yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm like, who left this shit on the floor here? What the
Right.
hell's going on?
Right, but that's the whole thing. It's like...
That shit on the floor is art, dude.
The
What are
more
you doing?
the more obstacles you remove from your tools of creation, the easier it is to engage with it. So...
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. These deep messages from Jack over here. I love it.
I'm just a dork who's been doing music a little too long.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong about that, though. That's great. That's a great way to look at it. I had a point, lost it.
Why don't you talk about drumming?
Oh, well, sorry. I was trying to make a deep cut joke where I left there.
If you don't tell this story, I will.
Oh, well, yeah, I actually drum. I have. I'm getting back into it. A lot of it's funny. A lot of it I've been drumming because of rock band. That's what really got me into. Like my dad was a drummer. He was in a band called Moonhead, and what kills me about older recordings, I guess, like from that time, is that people didn't really record a lot. And like he has a friend who has all these recordings. I can't find them anywhere. I'm gonna get back to the point of drumming. It's gonna be full circle.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't get in touch with the guy, or at least I can't get the recordings from him, so it's a shame. But yeah, drumming. Recently we went to a open mic at the Rusty Nail, which shout out to the Nail. And as we're on stage, I'm drumming on stage, and then it's to a point where I kind of just stopped playing, and I kind of I'm like, all right, guys, I sound bad. Like I'm just gonna get off the stage and leave.
So mid jam, it was an open jam, less so an open mic. They asked for like drummers, they asked for bassists to come on and fill in. I taught Rob my philosophies of jamming and like playing with others, and to Rob's credit, the band around him was not making anything to develop the jam at all. So it was getting pretty samey. And that's something that jam bands can suffer from. If you're not constantly innovating or playing with your partners and you're just keeping something going, I don't know, how long are you going to do that before everybody in the room is bored, including the musicians?
Yeah.
Spice it up. But Rob, and I'll tease him for this forever, realizes that it's been like minute 3 of not changing. He's like, you know what? So middle of the jam, he stands up. He's like, all right, I'm done.
Someone else will come up. Someone else will come up here and play. I sound like I'm being bad up here.
Yeah, Rob got in his own head.
Yeah, the one thing very important thing of the musicians, listen to your fellow musicians. For the love of God, listen to them. They need to be heard.
It really does sound so simple, but I really do believe the best musician in any group or any scenario is the one who's listening the most. Like, you could play guitar like Eddie Van Halen, but the reason he's great is because he wrote songs that showcased it. He didn't step on other people. He didn't like steal the spotlight. He was in an environment that let him shine. You could shine in any environment and at any skill level, given you're playing to that environment and you're listening to your fellow musicians.
Same with sound technicians. For the love of God, somebody comes up to you at a show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sound techs. Are you kidding? Oh my God, nobody knows how to mix because they're all deaf because they suck at mixing.
Yeah, for the love of God, if you get some random asshole with a still sway hat come up to you at a show and he says, "Hey, you should probably do something like this," don't blow him off. Listen to the poor guy.
Oh my God. Well, to band's credit, not all sound techs know what they're doing, and it's really hard to trust a stranger. But oh my God, I am so anal about
What happened
audio.
recently? That guy really stuck it to you with that show you went to.
Oh, I can't remember. It's happened more times than I want to admit.
Yeah, the sound techs know how to stick it to Jack. They just screw it up even harder.
Oh yeah, it was a. Oh, I remember. It was.
Oh, I remember.
I'm not gonna name names because I don't want anybody's job to be threatened.
Yeah, no.
But I was like, hey man, you should turn up. I am a sound tech, but you should definitely make sure that your front man vocalist is heard over the drum kit. I think that is pretty important, and nobody in the crowd can understand a word he's saying. And he looks at me and goes, "What are you, a sound tech?" And I go, "Yeah, actually." He goes, "All right, bud." And then for the rest of the night, nobody heard the front lead vocalist of the band.
It's pretty important.
Get out of your head, sound techs. Open your ears.
So stupid.
It's so frustrating because those artists on the stage practice day and night to make a good show. Maybe they suck, but you know, they practice regardless. A good sound tech can make them at least heard well. But if you are a practiced artist, you have a bad sound tech, you know, it doesn't matter because you're going to sound like trash to the whole room, to the whole audience. It's annoying.
Yeah, I mean, hell, those sound techs really are like the front line of like how everything's going to sound. With Delco jams, when we go and we film, everything depends on the room. If the sound is shit, then the video's going to be shit. Granted, you could turn around and go, "Well, why don't you just plug into the board?" Well, why don't you just mix the board better and I won't have to fucking plug into it?
Fair enough. That's a good point.
Yeah, it's all about acoustics of the room, you know? Like, listen to your fellow tech. It's not like some asshole's like, "Hey, I actually think I've got a good idea for the soundboard." Like, I feel like most people who come up to someone at a show who has a suggestion for the board clearly have an idea of what they're doing. I don't think some asshole's like, "Could you turn it up a little louder? I can't hear it in the back."
Yeah, I don't. Now that you think about it, I don't know of many dweebs like that would just go up to a tech and be like, "Can you adjust the mids?" And like they don't know what they're talking
Their
about.
pants are literally up to their nipples.
Yeah, I don't know. Like a pinwheel hat and propeller hat. It's...
oh my God, it makes me think of the meme of the good lady. It's just like, he said to adjust the mids. So stupid.
Anyway.
But yeah, no, I mean, it really does matter. Always listening, anything in general, anything art you do, it's always good just to listen, take criticisms, things like that. If you can't take criticism, even in a positive way, like you're not. You got a way to say this a little better. It's like if you can't take criticism, you're not going
to grow.
Yeah, you're not evolving.
The way human muscles grow is by damage or whatever, or like reaffirmation. You lift a dumbbell a few times, your muscles are going to adjust to the new information and reform probably stronger. That's just it's human philosophy. But I do have a question, Griff. Relation to music, are you an instrumentalist at all, or do you sing or?
Nope, just a music fan. Yeah,
just a cute boy in the crowd.
Yeah, no, I've tried. I'm not musically gifted at all.
There's actually a Facebook video that says different with you playing Foreplay Long Time.
Well, that's a rock band. I kill rock band, but yeah, any actual instruments, no.
Rock band's pretty good at teaching rhythm, all things considered.
It's true, yeah.
So.
Like rhythm games, I kill it at, like DDR, and there's this one Dance Rust it's called. I play a lot. But yeah, like once I get an instrument in my hand, I just go brain dead. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
You should try and play guitar. I mean, you've played.
I've
rock,
tried.
Yeah, guitar, piano, and all that.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you could do it.
I've tried. I just don't get it. But like, unless there's a screen with colored buttons directing me, then I can't do it. But
I've got a working free resource I'm sending to learning guitarist and bassist. I'll send you the link. It's a free Google sheet, and essentially, I made the spreadsheet look like the neck of a guitar and bass, and it kind of tells you what the scales are and how they operate. Because really, if you understand what a shape is, like a square or a triangle, that's how I think about guitar. I couldn't tell you really all the notes or chords I'm playing, but I can listen and apply what shape the song is in, and that's how I think about it.
We'll actually put a link. We'll actually put a link at the bottom of the episode.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
put the
we'll
link.
we'll put a link at the bottom
open
of the
resource.
episode. Yeah, by
For
all means,
sure.
because I've checked it over myself. It's even though I have no idea what these notes are. I was like, oh wow, he's got this all to a T. It looks very simplified. It's like it's not too much. It's like, hey, X, Y, and Z type deal.
Exactly. So to the same night that Rob to the open jam night, I got on stage with a bass guitar, and I realized to my left I had a competent drummer, but the other guys didn't really know where to go, and our front man didn't know how to front. So I picked a shape, and I looked at the drummer and I said, move like this, and then everybody else fell into line. And that's really all you have to do in terms of like very surface level music is you pick a shape that the notes sit in, you pick a way it moves, and then, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, verse, whatever. You got yourself a song or a jam. And that went really well. I think I sang about a girl on a beach.
I actually have that video still. It's like
You recorded that?
Yeah, I did. It's a sick video, dude. I watch it every now and then. I'm like, just look at my boy up there, doing so great.
The band was like, yo, what was that? And I'm like, guys, that was off the top of my head.
Guys, that was me just making up as I went along.
That's riffing. But yeah, if you understand the structures of music and how it operates as a vehicle, at least the way I see it, you can make anything a rock song.
Yeah, you really do have good logic, or the way you view music. It actually is like beautiful. It's like because it makes sense. It's not just because like I don't know. See, I'm trying.
Well, that's the thing. It's very different. I quit guitar lessons very young. I'm a self-taught musician for the most part. I was classically trained in trumpet, but my parents paid for 3 guitar lessons, and I realized that they were putting a piece of paper in front of me, and they were saying to recite what was on the page, and that's not understanding music. That's reciting music, right? So I went home and I learned my first ever song, Blink-182, "Damn It," on electric guitar.
Hell yeah.
That'll show.
And ever
Great
since
song.
I learned it by ear, and ever since I did that, I'm like, okay, well, if I can understand how this works, I won't need somebody to put a piece of paper in front of me. That's not discounting, reciting musicians. They can probably play better than I can in certain orchestra scenarios and whatnot. But I was a rock band reject in college. I tried out for the rock band and the jazz band, but because I couldn't recite at that level, they didn't want me. But
Rock Band Reject's actually a really good band name.
I had it
It
as a
is.
potential album name for a while. But I was absolutely a rock band reject because I couldn't recite at that level. But in my audition, I said, how about you just play something in A blues and I'll solo over it and we'll trade solos. And the guy auditioning me, he ended up smiling and laughing and having fun with me when he just like threw the paper to the side. He's like, man, that was so fun. I can't offer you the spot. And he couldn't offer me the spot because the kids in that group were reciters, or at least they were probably more skilled at me and they knew how to recite as well.
You're more off the cuff.
Yeah, I'm more off the cuff. I play by my ear, and they didn't trust that a guy who could play by ear could keep up. And that's just who I am. I can keep up. I can listen.
They were like, "That's a great jam, but get out."
Yeah. Essentially, they're like, "Oh, get out of here."
You're a hack. Get out of here. That's incredible. I didn't know that about you. That you actually did that.
Yeah.
You probably have told me, and I'm probably like,
No. I keep that one pretty close to my chest because it was a pretty embarrassing day. But I've always thought about that day. It kind of reaffirmed
It's
that like,
defining.
if you can logically understand how music works, you don't really need. Dave Grohl can't read sheet music, by the way. That's a famous fact.
Shout out Dave Grohl.
He can cheat on his wife. But
I wonder if that was a requirement.
yeah.
To get in
just
his
reading-
college rock band.
He's reading sheet music, and it just says "cheat on your wife," and then he's like, "I can read this."
It all makes sense now.
It's times like these you cheat on your wife.
So stupid.
I mean, he's a great musician though. Shout out Dave Grohl for
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I play this. I fill in on acoustic guitar for Tommy Boy when we do acoustic duos sometimes, and I'm playing his music. It's awesome music. He's a great songwriter.
Any dates coming up with Tommy Boy that you want to give a shout out to on the
just come to see Secrets if you're listening,
Okay.
man. Secrets on February 15th is going to be the craziest. It's probably the biggest gig of all of our careers in terms of just playing.
What's
on
the venue again? And do you have the
Secrets.
address or?
SE, just type in SEACRETS in Ocean City, Maryland.
Okay.
And that is the biggest stage.
Oh, it's Ocean City, Maryland.
It's
Oh,
a 3-hour drive from the
Oh yeah,
airport.
yeah. My boy drinks there all the time.
Your-
Shouts out Jonesy.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, he might be there just randomly.
Come go.
Yeah, right.
Gonna
You
be
should
a
go
huge
if you don't do
stage.
anything.
We
should go as a Delco
I
Griff
probably
show?
can't, but maybe.
My mom says I can't go. I'm
Off
sorry,
the air,
guys.
yeah. Off the air, give me the date and stuff. But yeah, probably.
February 15th.
we'll
On the
we'll
air.
give it to you right
Yeah,
now.
on air. I meant like, wait, February 15th. Yeah, I can't go.
My mom says I can't
Yeah.
go. I asked her. She said no. I have to pet my cat 100 times.
Well,
a
for
day.
those of you listening who can,
Yes, go. Yes.
be there.
Be there or literally be square, guys. Come on, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a great venue. I've been there before, actually, not for music, just to hang out, and yeah, it's fun. So.
Have you really been there?
I have, yeah, with Jonesy. Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I haven't been there, so clearly I have no idea what to
Yeah,
expect.
is it outdoor or indoor?
Both.
Okay. Because,
Well,
like the
your s-
concert part,
your
you're
stage.
playing
Oh, my stage is going to be the nightclub. It's going to be indoor.
indoor.
They're
Okay.
shifting us both sides as we play.
Because, yeah, the outside venue is actually like sand and stuff, like, so yeah, it's like actually like a beach. It's cool.
That'd be really fun. It's like, yeah, we're actually playing the outdoor stage. It's gonna be a little chilly, guys. Wear a coat.
Yeah. Right on.
That's great. I'm excited to hear it. I'm excited for that. Excited for that show. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Jack, one last thing here. Band names. I know you've got a list of them, and I just wanna hear a couple star ones off your list here.
There's there's a good like segment I'll see online where they do good band name, bad band name, where they like list band names and say whether it's a good name or not.
Well, we make like he'll.
I've had this list since high school.
Yeah.
And the criteria to get on this list, nobody gets credit, so I couldn't tell you who came up with it.
Right. Well, yeah.
Is if I would go see a band called this, it goes on the list.
Okay. Well, let's go.
You guys can go good or bad. Just give it one word answers, but I'll pick a few off this list that are recent. Love Spell.
I would need to know the context because that could be good or bad for sure.
Yeah.
Matthew, as in
No.
M-A-T-H-H-U-E. As a math rock band? Are you kidding?
I do love math rock, so yeah, if it
Yeah.
is that, then yes, yeah.
Easily. Marco Pollo, as in the Spanish way to say chicken.
I'm about to say or like Kirby when he's like Pollo.
Marco Pollo.
I do like that, yeah.
Milky Pickle.
No, no shot in hell.
You wouldn't go see Milky Pickle at the Rusty Nail? I'd go there today.
Maybe.
Check out our.
I
boys
mean,
on-
again, like you can make any band name cool. So yeah, it really just depends. But just judging off the name alone, probably not. But
What about Bottom Golf?
no, probably not. No.
Gotta sell this guy, Jack.
All right, we'll find one he likes.
How about Shitty Poopy?
No.
Obama's last name?
I mean that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we got one. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Gentrify, spelled D-J-E-N-T-R-I-F-Y.
Oh, like gent music. Yeah. Yeah, that's creative. Sure.
They're wearing suits probably when they play. That'd be really nice.
I really like this one. Horp. H-L-O-R-M-P.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting.
It'd be a good funk band.
Yeah, that's true.
Horp.
That's what I would say it as.
You guys
yeah.
want to go see Horp at the Fillmore?
Yeah, I'm already there.
So these are three separate ones. You're going to have to tell me which one's the best. I have the Heebie-Jeebies,
Okay.
the Hubby Jubbies, and the Horby Jorbies.
I like Horby Jorbies.
Yeah.
I have a friend that actually is in a band named the Jumping Juvies, so that's kind of similar, yeah. So,
Who's the friend?
his name's Jamie.
It's always Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie, what's up? Yeah, maybe I can get him on. I think they're like on a hiatus, like or permanent. I'm not sure yet, but
What about women respecters?
wait.
Group.
Hold on. I accidentally paused it. Oh no.
What have you done?
I know, right?
What have you done?
My wrist hit the space bar.
Are we back on?
Are you back?
No, because I don't want to like fuck it up. 'Cause, yeah, if I just hit record again, I'm worried it's gonna like.
Can you save that file before you hit the record button?
Well, hold on.
This on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Good. Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
I'm trying to do something funny, but I'm not funny. I'm sorry. We're not even live. I'm still trying to be funny. It's whatever.
Right.
Please stop.
Can you believe this guy? Goober.
Stop giving me that look, Jack. Even though they can't hear me through the audio, I'm gonna keep the.
Can't they hear you through the phone?
They can hear me through the phone.
You didn't pause that?
No, it's all. It's. I'm gonna put a little thing at the bottom.
And now for our favorite segment, look at Rob.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah, you should definitely have paused it.
God damn it.
This is a 5-minute segment.
Yeah, right.
And it's not until you get to the 4 minutes of that segment where you can really see why it's that great. So stupid. No, dude, really, you gotta listen to the Delco Jams podcast. It's when they stare at Rob for 5 minutes is when it really
That's the
fucking...
best bit. It translates to radio really well. Everyone just shuts up for.
And we're back after Griff's little thumb, I don't know what he hit, but Griff, you had some more questions for Jack.
Wait, what?
It's
Oh.
just so stupid.
No, I didn't have any questions. I just had other topics to potentially go over.
What did you want to answer?
What's up?
What did you want to answer?
No, I was just gonna say like instead like hold on. Now I'm losing the train of thought. We were gonna do like I have my record store day release pickups, so I was gonna go over them since they just announced them yesterday actually.
Do it.
Sure. So yeah, record store day is every year. It's like the first or second Saturday in April, I believe. It's April 12th this year. Basically, a lot of bands just do like cool new exclusive releases. Their list actually just came out yesterday, so I wrote down my pickups for it. So yeah, we can go over them. So the B-52s are doing a picture disc version of their self-titled album. It's the one with like Rock Lobster and stuff.
That's a killer song.
The Rock Lobster is a great song. for
Jack, are
sure.
you familiar with Rock Lobster?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure everyone is. Yeah. That one is limited to 3,500. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go grab it, but I'll definitely try.
So it's they only have 3,500 like
Period.
to give.
Like throughout the whole United
Wow.
States. Yeah. So basically, every record store like divvies it up, and they'll probably get like 3-4 copies maybe. So you just gotta. I usually line up around like 7 a.m. in the morning. The store I usually go to opens at like 11, so I'm there for like 4 hours. Kind of sucks, but it's worth it.
I'm actually out there and it sucks, whatever.
Well, I mean, me and my wife, we just hang out, and then like we'll just take turns. Like I'll run and grab like a drink or breakfast or something, and then bring it back to the line, and then vice versa.
Do you get anybody that be like, this guy's a dirty line cutter?
No.
Somebody should. I actually think about
There's
that.
like resellers that will be there for like since like 4 in the morning, and then they just sell their shit on eBay for like thousands of dollars. Bullshit.
That's
but-
fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one I wrote down. There's this band. They're like a electronic dance poppy with like a girl singer named Churches with a B. So it's CHV, and the rest of Churches. They're doing a 10th anniversary re-release of their album. Every Eye Open, it's called. That one has a 2,500 limit. So, has anyone heard Churches? Definitely recommend.
I've only ever heard of Churches and Trains. Shout out, guys. But
Yeah.
no, I've heard of them.
Good band. Then Fleetwood Mac is doing a picture disc of their album Fleetwood Mac, or album, the one with Rhiannon.
Who are those guys?
Stevie Nicks and the gang. I don't know the rest of their names, but so yeah, that one is limited to 6,475, which is a really random amount. But
How much do they charge, like, for the... Does it say, like, how much they charge just for it? or-
unfortunately, no, you don't find out till you get there, so it gets pretty crazy. Usually, it's like $25 to $50 an album, depending on contents and stuff.
Okay.
So, and then Gorillaz is doing a live album of Demon Days from the Apollo Theater. It's the album with like Feel Good Inc., Dirty Harry, Dare's the main ones on that.
Is Clint Eastwood on that?
Clint Eastwood is not on that. That's on their self-titled debut album. But yeah, the Gorillaz one is limited to 6,500. So I might be able to grab that one.
So you're grabbing it from a record store, or you're grabbing
Yes.
it from online? Because
No.
So they only get this X amount to the store.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So 6,500 is the amount that they're pressing, and then that just gets divvied up between all the record stores in America. So then you just have to so each record store only usually gets a couple copies depending. So
So this store specifically is only gonna have a couple. They're not gonna have 6,500.
No.
Okay.
No, God no. They'll probably have like 2 or 3. That's why it sucks because you have to get there super early. The store I used to go to is called Vinyl Revival in Lansdowne. Shouts out Vinyl Revival.
Vinyl Revival.
Yes, in Lansdowne. There's a new record store in Media called Greatest Hits that just opened up recently, and they're participating this year as well. So I might hit up that one as well. Let's see, what else did I got? So the classic emo band Him, their song Join Me, very popular song. They're doing a picture disc of that song limited to 3,000. So definitely probably gonna try to pick that one up.
I saw him open for Black Veil Brides.
Hell yeah, awesome.
Cool show.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
Next up, we got Judas Priest live in Atlanta, 1982. That's limited to 6,400.
I like those guys. They break the law.
They do, yeah. They also have an electric eye and among other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And among painkillers.
They got another thing coming, that's for sure.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm a big Judas Priest fan, so I'll try to pick that one up.
Really into Judas Priest?
Hell yeah. So good. And then we got Motorhead Lost Tapes Volume 6 live in Berlin, 1992. I didn't look up the track listing for that one, so I'm not sure what's on it, but you can't go wrong with Motorhead. Always good band.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shout out Motorhead.
Yeah, right? Shout out Lemmy. R.I.P.
Real.
Yeah. And all right, these guys have been bringing up a lot. Rage Against the Machine has live on tour in 1993, this one's limited to 15,000, so this one I got a good shot at getting. Yeah, it's just various songs from their tour from '93.
It's kind of like how Talking Heads did an album called The Name of the Band is called Talking Heads, and it's all just different live different locations, things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Talking Heads actually has a release this year as well. I didn't write it down. I forget what was on it, but yeah, they have a release. Yeah, shouts out Rage Against the Machine. If you're listening, Tom Morello and Zach Della Rocca, however you say that.
And Tim Comerford and Brad Wilk.
There you go. Yeah, I didn't know those two, but then there's this band I got into recently called the Struts. They're pretty good. They're like a throwback to like 80s rock. You know them?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So they're doing a cover of Bad Company's Rock and Roll Fantasy. You've probably heard the song where it's like Rock and Roll Fantasy.
You know, I didn't until you just said it, so there you go.
But anyway, yeah, they're doing a cover of that. It's limited to 1,000 copies, so I'll probably try to pick that one up. Great song. Next up, We Built This City on Rock and Roll by Starship. They're doing a picture disc version of it, limited to 5,000. It's one of the best songs ever made. You know it?
Yeah, they built that city on rock and roll.
Exactly, yeah. Alright. My wife's super into video game lo-fi lately, and they're doing like a compilation disc for Record Store Day. Really, really good. If you just Google, Spotify search video game lo-fi, it's basically just, like it says, video game songs, just lo-fi versions of it. This one has Green Hill Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog.
I've listened to a lot of Sonic lately.
Oh yeah.
It's funny.
And then it's got a lo-fi version of Simple and Clean as well. Classic Kingdom Hearts song.
Classic. Love that song.
Yeah, for sure.
That song makes me feel things.
Oh yeah. And then Eddie Vedder's doing a release, some solo stuff. It's Save It for Later and Room at the Top. 2 of his songs, limited to 4,000. Again, shouts out Eddie Vedder. And then last on my list, I have Everybody Wang Chung Tonight, the classic song. I don't know if you ever heard it, but
Could you just give me an idea?
it's like, everybody have fun tonight. Everybody Wang Chung Tonight. Great song. But yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah. You never heard it? Definitely listen to that. But yep. So that's the last one on the list. And then there's some other big hits. Taylor Swift has one, which people always go apeshit for. Every year Taylor Swift has a release. The line's like double as long as it always is. There's a Bluey release for any kids out there with Bluey. Trying to think of anything else. There was a Black Sabbath one I wasn't too into, but yeah, definitely Record Store Day, April 12th. It's always a good time. Come down, check it out.
Hell yeah.
Hit up your local record stores. Always show support and love.
Yeah, support your local record stores. Support your local artists, for God's sakes. Get out and go to the shows, guys.
Right.
What are you doing?
Just support local in general. Yeah, artists, record stores, coffee shops.
Support
whatever.
yourselves too, but come on, get up and do things.
But for real, yeah. Fuck corporations.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, this is a good spot to end it. This has been the first Delco Jams podcast. I think we did had a lot of laughs, had a lot of I don't know the word, but
Fuck ups.
Fuck ups.
Yeah.
I didn't want to count you. I didn't want to personally at you on that.
Oh, this is me. This is me. A lot of mediocrity. Fuck up. No, I'm just kidding. But growing pains. Nah, we got this. We got this.
Mediocre.
Yeah.
That's a good band name.
I'm
Me-
not adding it.
Yeah, there you go. End on that. Mediocrity. Fuck ups.
All right.
Band name.
All right, awesome. Again, I'm Rob with Delco Jams, Griff with Delco Jams, Mandie
Griff.
Delco Jams, and then we have Jack as well. So, all right, awesome. See you guys later.
Peace.
Just cut it there. Just fucking cut it there.
Yeah.
Cut it. I want to go home.
I gotta go home.